welcome each one of you and thank you for gracing us with your presence on this milestone day of our company. Gandhar Oil Refinery India Limited is truly a memorable day for us as we launch the company's debut for IPO. Gandhar Oil Refinery India Limited began its journey 3 decades ago. Yes, we did face our share of challenges, but I am happy to inform that we were able to learn overcoming existing and potential challenges as well as scale up in the industry. Today I can proudly say that we are the leading manufacturer of white oil by revenue with a growing focus on the consumer and healthcare and industries. In terms of market share, we are among the top 5 manufacturers of white oil globally. Our product suite comprises of over 440 products, primarily across the personal care, healthcare and performance oil, lubricants and process and insulating oil, divisions under the DBOL brand. Our products are used as ingredients by leading Indian and global companies for the manufacture of the end product for the consumer, healthcare, automotive, industrial power and tire and rubber sectors. The white oil market is the fastest growing segment in the specialty oil sector, and our company is India's largest manufacturer of white oil by revenue in financial year 2023. Though the IPO we aim to fund our growth journey, make the initial investment and capital expenditure on forthcoming initiatives, add in capacity expansion, gain access to the capital market, as well as ensure further accountability to all our stakeholders, thereby building trust and transparency. Once again, I take this opportunity to welcome the new investors to the Gandhar family. With your help and support, we promise to strive our best to make our story an even greater success in the global arena. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman sir, for your kind and motivational speech. It really, motivates us, to grow and inspire further from you and learn from you every day. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, wishing you a very happy New Year to one and all present out here. I would like to start our roadshow presentation for Gandhar Oil Refinery India Limited. Thank you. So, as discussed or as informed by Neetu about the highlights or the offering summary, I would just like to brief you again on the same. The offer opens on the Wednesday 22nd of November and the offer closes on 24th of November. The anchor will be open on Tuesday, that is 21st of November 2023. The offer comprises of fresh issue of 302 crores and an OFS, that is offers for sale, of around 1.17 crore equity shares. The price band is 160 to 169 rupees per equity share, and the bid lot is 88 equity share and multiple thereof. The selling shareholders include the promoter family, the other investors, other shareholders of Gandhar Oil. As the part of the deal construct, if you see, the QIBs contribute around 50% of the offer size, which is around 245 crores. The non-institutional investors contribute around 15%, which contributes around 73.5 crores on the lower price band, and the retail investors are of 35% of the total book size, which is around 171.5 crores. The bankers to the issue are Nuvama Wealth Management Services, formerly known as Edelweiss Securities Limited, and ICICI Securities Limited. The RTA linking time and the listing venue is the BSE and the NSE. And the promoter and promoter group is around 87.5% and the public is 12.5%. So I once again introduce the presenters over here. Myself, Appl Amt, Joint Managing Director of the company, working with the company since more than 19 years today. I am holding a Bachelor of Science degree and taking care of our facility in India and thoroughly, and also responsible for the management and the finance of the company. I am joined by Mr. Samir Parekh, who is the Vice Chairman and Joint Managing Director at Gandhar. He is holding a Bachelor of Commerce degree from University of Mumbai. He is also working with Gandhar, since last 20 years. I have Mr. Indrajit Bhattacharya, who is the Chief Financial Officer of the company, which is the CFO. He has been working with Gandhar since more than 8 years now. He has enriched experience in the financial field since last many years. manufacturers of white oil in India and one of the top 5 players globally. We are holding a market share of around 25% in India. We are having a diversified customer base. We have the who's and who's of the FMCG and healthcare industries with us. We have marquee customer names like Procter & Gamble, Unilever, the Indian FMCG companies like Dabur, Marico, Imami, Bajaj, so on as a part of our valued customer. The revenues of the company are divided into 3 broad categories. The personal care, healthcare performance one, which is the PHPO, which contributes to around 54% of the total revenue of the company. We have the lubricant category, which is the industrial lubricants and the automotive lubricants, contributing to around 24.5% of the total revenue of the company. Then we have the process and the insulating one, which is the PIO category, which is contributing to around 9% of the total revenues of the company. We had passed through an extensive accreditation process with our existing customers, after completing the rigorous selection process with these customers. Having said that, today, as I informed you, we have leading customers on board with us like Unilever, P&G, to name a few multinational FMCG customers. Our overseas sales are to 100 plus countries, and around 40% of the total revenue generated by Gandhar is from the overseas sale. We are exporting to 100 plus countries across the globe. We have transitioned our company from buying the key raw material, which is base oil, from distributors earlier to refineries today, which has helped the company. I'll take you more on the coming part of the presentation. We undertook a strategic decision a couple of years back to focus on our manufacturing business. We are in the fastest growing industry in this segment, which is white oil, which is expected to grow at a double-digit CAGR of 10% from FY23 to FY27. A massive scale of operation. If you see the revenue of 4,079 crores in FY23, EBITDA of 316 crores, and a profit after tax of 213 crores. A track record of consistent financial performance by Gandhar. If you see the revenue CAGR is more than 40%, the EBITDA CAGR around 12.5%, and a profit after tax CAGR around 15%. We have the industry leading ROE and ROCE ratio of 32% and 41% respectively. So our largest revenue division, which is the personal care, healthcare, and the performance, which is the PHPO division. Today, we are proud to say we have accreditation, we have tie-up with marquee multinational customers, including Procter & Gamble, including Unilever. Now, I would like to highlight or stress upon this specific segment of our company, which is the most revenue generating company for Gandhar. If you see, getting entry into customers like Procter & Gamble or Unilever, is the time process of nothing less than 4 to 5 years of time. Now, if you see companies like Unilever and P&G, they use our raw material, which is white oil or petroleum jelly, in brands like Vaseline or Vicks Vapor. So these are where our products are critically being used. Having said that, they are very choosy in adding new suppliers. I mean, if you see, these are all multi-billion-dollar brands, So they want to ensure that whatever raw materials that they are buying from a supplier X or supplier Y is absolutely as per the consistent quality. Even apart from the quality, they do plant audits. There is a product audit which is done. There is a consumer testing which is also done, which is a part of the approval process. Now, in consumer testing, what happens typically is a product like Vaseline or a product like Vicks Vapor is available anywhere in India. It's also available globally. So having said that, a brand promises certain delivery, certain efficacy of the product. So customers like Unilever or Procter & Gamble would eventually, just not change the supplier, if they are getting some better pricing deal from a supplier Y. But having said that, they want to ensure the efficacy of the product is maintained even after changing the raw material. So there is a lots of process which goes behind in adding a new supplier, in the overall scheme of things. So this is why it acts as a very high entry barrier to the business. These are all day-to-day brands. I mean, if you see a Vicks Vapor or a Soframycin, when we get hurt, we apply a Soframycin. It's a very basic brand which is available in almost everybody's household. So this is where our products are used. They act as a base carrier in transferring the active ingredient in that specific product. So the application of the product is pretty important for us. I mean, we are the leading manufacturers of white oil in India, holding a commendable market share of 55%. Having said that, the revenue that Gandhar had generated in FY23 only from this vertical is more than 2,000 crores. To be very specific, 2,090 crores, out of the total revenue of 4,080 crores of FY23. Now, We have a consistent track record of financial performance. We undertook a massive transformation of the company over the last couple of financial years in terms of the growth of the company, in terms of expanding of geographies, in terms of strengthening our supplier base, and also at the same time minimizing our commodity risk and also increasing our technological upgradation in all our facilities. We have strengthened our customer base. So today I am proud to say we have more than 3,500 set of customers, and around 65 to 68% of our business is coming from repeat orders. Now, what I mean to say, repeat order is basically a customer should buy from Gandhar for 3 consecutive years to qualify it as a repeat customer. So the customer stickiness in the business is pretty much high, which is one of an important thing at Gandhar. Apart from that, we have been in a position to expand our product offerings, to various customers. With some customers, we started with one product. Today, we are supplying more than 3 to 4 different products to one specific FMCG customer. We have expanded across geographies. So we have 3 manufacturing plants in all. We have 2 plants in India and 1 in Dubai. Our Indian facilities are located in Taloja and Silvassa, and one plant we are located in Sharjah, which is in United Arab Emirates, that is UAE. So we are expanding across geographies. It is helping us in even on the customer point of as a BCP, it is helping as a backup option in case of any uneventualities in any of the plant. So this is helping in with Gandhar in terms of continuity and increasing business with the customer. Apart from that, see, at Gandhar, our key raw material, which is base oil, we used to buy this base oil earlier from distributors. Because being the latest entrant in the business, the buying of the raw material base oil was really a challenge in terms of getting an access to companies like Saudi Aramco or some known companies out of South Korea. But today, we have managed to get inroads into these companies. Today, we have done contracts with these refineries, which has helped the company in getting transparency in pricing also, and getting transparency in pricing and assured volume supplies. We are trying to minimize commodity risk. Why commodity risk? Now, if you see, base oil is a derivative of crude oil. Now, crude oil, being a commodity, is subject to lots of volatility, lots of variations. If we have seen, crude oil at peak 200, it has come down to 0 during COVID. But we have managed to pass on. We are in a position to pass on this risk to the customers. Having said that, we have adopted a price pass-through mechanism with few of our customers, wherein we whatever raw material pricing is there is effectively passed on to our customers. Having said that, our buying is based on an index-linked pricing. Earlier, the buying used to happen on spot prices, but today our buying is index-linked pricing, which is helping the company in terms of getting a better transparency in terms of its supply chain. We have done technological upgradation in all our plants. Today, we have SCADA facilities in our facility to ensure faster turnaround of the batches, better quality of the product, faster deliveries of the product with the help of the jet pressing technology that we have in our facilities. Largest manufacturers of white oil in India, holding a 26.5% market share of white oil as of FY23. We are one of the top 5 players globally as of FY22, holding almost a double-digit market share of 10% across the globe. Our overseas revenue, has contributed significantly in growth of the company. If you look at this bar chart on your right hand side, if you see the export revenue, the overseas revenue has jumped from 741 crores in FY21 to 2,170 crores in FY23. So we have witnessed a CAGR growth of 71%. Now exports, we are spread across the globe. We are exporting not only to the US, to the Europe, but we are also exporting across the globe, including Australia, South America, Africa, Australia, and so on. Apart from that, I would like to add one more specific point here. The PHPO division, which is the Personal Care Healthcare Performance Oil division, contributed around 65% of the total overseas sale of the company as of 30th June 2023. If you see the revenues of the company, as I informed you earlier, the major contributor for the revenues of Gandhar is the PHPO, which is around 55% of the total revenue of the company. We have the lubricants, which is around 25%. We have the PIO, which is the process and the insulating oil, which is around 9.5%, and we have the channel partner category, which is around 10.5% of the total revenues, helping in clogging the total revenues of the company. Now, if you see the revenue split of the PHPO business, which is the personal care, healthcare, and the performance oil, around 54% is coming in from the consumer sector. So the application of white oil as a product is primarily used in the consumer and the healthcare industry. Now, if you combine the consumer and the healthcare sector, it is as high as 70%. So the application of white oil or a petroleum jelly that we produce, or where we are the largest manufacturers of white oil in India, holding a 26% market share. The primary application is in the FMCG sector, where we have, where we have tie-up with companies like Unilever or Procter & Gamble. And we have witnessed a high amount of growth in this sector over last 3 financial years. If you can see the CAGR that we have achieved over this company is more than in the excess of 65 to 70% across the years. Now, extensified, diversified customer and a supplier base. I've already discussed in terms of the PHPO business. Apart from the PHPO business, we have the other 2 businesses, which is the industrial and the automotive lubricant oil category, and the process and the insulating oil. Although the industrial and the automotive lubricants, we have around 25% of the market share in the 25% of the total revenue is contributed from the industrial and the automotive lubricant category. We have customers like Gulf Oil, we have customers like Adani Transmission, Adani Port and Logistics, and many other customers. Having said that, we have more than 3,500 set of customers. Now, it's a very important point, to note. The customer stickiness in the business is pretty much high, and the amount of repeat order that we generate year on year is in excess of 65%. So it is as high as 69 to 70%, over last 3 financial years. Now, base oil, again, coming back to the supplier portion, base oil again is a critical raw material, for our value chain. Having the right quality of the raw material to ensure the right product is given to our customers, timely delivery of the raw material to ensure timely delivery to our customers in turn, and transparency in pricing because of the indexing. Now, as I informed earlier, our buying earlier was on spot pricing. Today, thanks to the contracts that we have with the refineries like Saudi Aramco, we are able to have a term contract getting assured supplies and also transparency in pricing, which is absolutely mirrored, with few of our customers, when we adopt a price pass-through mechanism for our customers, which helps in minimizing the commodity risk. Plants in India, across the globe. We have 2 in India and 1 in Dubai. The total capacity is around 522,000 kiloliters. The total capacity utilization across the 3 plants put together is roughly around 85%. Having said that, we are doing capacity expansion for our Taloja facility by 100,000 KL through internal accruals, and part of it is through the term loan. We are doing a capacity expansion of 18,000 KL in Silvassa as well. So the total capacity from 522,000 KL will go up to around 20 to 25%, hopefully by end of this year. Customers. So we were in a position to develop, a specific raw material which is, being used today by a leading hair care manufacturer in globally. So this is how we at Gandhar are in close association, close discussion with the R&D team of our customers, to develop and formulate new products. This is where we are able to have edge vis-a-vis our competition. So I'll ask Mr. Indrajit Bhattacharya to take over the financial performance of the company.
By a CAGR of 40%, our turnover has grown from 2,068 crores in 21 to 4,080 crores in 23. The gross profit and gross margins have also increased. The gross profits and the gross margins have also increased substantially. It has increased from 379 crores in 21 to 523 crores in 23. The EBITDA and EBITDA margins have also grown substantially. It has grown from 248 crores in 21 to 366 crores in 23. PAT and PAT margins have seen a CAGR growth of 15%, where the PAT amount has grown from 161 crores in 21 to 213 crores in 23. We have industry-leading ROE and ROC return profile. ROE of 32% and ROC of 41%. Our net debt to EBITDA as on 31st March 23 is as low as 0.39x.
Thanks. We have a very experienced and a very and well-qualified management team. Apart from the promoters of the company, that is our patriarch of the group, Mr. Ramesh Parekh, who is having tons of experience in this industry. my brother Mr. Samir and myself, Ashlesh Parekh, as a part of the promoter on the part of the board. We have a fairly spread independent director also. We have Mrs. Dina Mehta. She is a known name in the financial industry. She was the first lady president at the Bombay Stock Exchange. She is currently on board with Asset Mehta Financial Services and the Reliance Asset Reconstruction Company. We have Mr. Raj Kishore Singh, who was the former chairman and managing director of Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, which is BPCL, and former director at ONGC. He is currently on board with Aegis Logistics, Tema India, and SR UK Services. We have Amrita Nautiyal. She is the chairperson of the company secretaries of India, the Western region. She is currently on board with pharmaceutical companies like Appl Amt and Jai Precision. It is said that the company is as good as its persons are, So we have a very well qualified and experienced management team, working with Gandhar, aspiring and taking ahead the vision at Gandhar. We, as I introduced Mr. Indrajit Bhattacharya, who is the CFO of the company, is with us today. We have Mrs. Jayashree Soni here, who is the company secretary and a compliance officer. We have people from the industry also working with us at Gandhar for since many years. We have Mr. Deepak Mewada. He is heading our R&D unit in the Taloja facility. He is taking care of the PHPO. He is heading the R&D series. He is heading the R&D department specifically for the PHPO segment. We have Mr. Atul Shah, who is the Senior Vice President of the Sales and Marketing for the PHPO category. We have a qualified team at our plant. We have a senior member from the HR division and other part of the marketing team as well. We discussed on the past, the track record Gandhar was able to deliver, going ahead, we foresee the growth at Gandhar will come from, enhanced focus on the consumer and the healthcare industry, which is the PHPO. We believe that with, the strong demographic consumption in India, with the aspiring middle class, the government initiatives, in terms of the PLI schemes that are being granted by the government, apart from that, the expanding wallet share of the middle class, the people, consumers, end of the day are aspiring, to use better and better brands, whether it be it in hair care category, whether it be it in a skin care category. So we are well poised, to capture the growth of the industry, which is 10% CAGR. And apart from that growth, we are also anticipating, to grow not only domestically but also geographically across the globe with our customers. So having said that, at Gandhar, 40% of our revenue is generated from our export overseas sales. We would like to grow with our customers not only within India but outside India as well. So today at Gandhar, we are not only supplying Unilever in India, but we are also supplying Unilever globally. Having said that, we still have not access to Unilever in the US or the Europe, but work is in progress. Hopefully, we should be in a position to even expand our footprints across that categories as well. Industry overview. If you see, the global white oil business is around $3.3 billion and the Indian white oil business is around $0.43 billion. Now, this white oil business is the only business which is expected amongst the specialty oil business which is expected to grow at a double-digit CAGR. So if you see, this is as per the CRISIL report. Now the white oil is expected to grow at around 9.6%, from $0.47 billion to $0.76 billion. With the leadership that we have, with the market leadership that we have in terms of the white oil category, we are well poised, to capture the growth. Not only what the industry is expecting to grow, we also expect, to grow higher with the aspirations that we have in terms of adding new geographies, adding new customers to our portfolio. So white oil as a product, is used in various industries. The prime application of white oil, as I informed you earlier, is in the consumer and the pharmaceutical category, which is roughly around 55%. But white oil as an application is also used by plastic industries. So, there are various customers like, for example, Supreme Petrochemicals, which are manufacturing polystyrene, which are using white oil, for manufacturing of polystyrene. So the application of white oil is varied across the industries, but the prime application is still the consumer and the healthcare sector. So as I informed you in the earlier part of the presentation, the revenue, of the three the revenues of Gandhar, are divided into three categories. The personal care, healthcare, performance oil contributing to 55% of the revenue. The lubricants, the industrial oil and the automotive lubricants contributing to around 25% of the revenue of the company. And the process and the insulating oil contributing to around 9.5% of the total revenue of the company. So if you see, the revenues of the company are spread across various categories, but the prime mover, or the dominant position that we have is in the PHPO category, which is the personal care, healthcare and performance oil, where we have marquee customers on our portfolio, and we at Gandhar are envisioned to grow specifically in the PHPO category. Thank you. This is all what I have to share from my side. Thank you so much.